with the brother Sarnetta TV. You know, we're gonna touch on this topic dealing with the accusations against, you know, everybody's favorite bad boy, your boy Puffy, P. Diddy. All right, the richest man in rap. We always have to put that in the front when we're talking about what these accusations mean and what it is that this brother's actually saying. Now, have you ever had a bodyguard in your life, Sarnetta?
You said, have I ever had a bodyguard in my life?
Yeah, you know, like a security detail.
I have. I ain't gonna front. Yes, I have. Why? What you was gonna say?
Nah. One thing that you know about security details is that they're very knowledgeable about a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, because as security detail, they have to know everything. Yeah, exactly. So like we got Brother Polite, he has his security detail. So when it comes to things like that, we know the security detail knows things that the public doesn't know. They know about threats on your life. They know about shootouts that you might not have reported. They know where the bodies are buried. Okay? So for the security to come out and to make accusations such as the ones that he's made, you have to really think about it. Now, would somebody just throw himself out there as a security guard? Because there's such a thing called slander and libel, and you're going up against a billionaire. You know what I mean? You're going up against a billionaire. So you know, if you was lying about him and you were slandering his name and dragging him through the mud, there would be a cease and desist order. You would have a lawsuit on your ass, all right? Messing around with Puff. So for him to come forward and say, I have information that I want to let the world know and I want to leak, not only about Biggie Smalls' death, but about the good brother Wolf's death, but about the snitch accusations about how you had people come to trial against Shine. A lot of things that we've been hearing throughout the years, this bro is coming forth and is like, yo, that shit is true. And I'm the security detail. I'm not the help. I'm not the guy in the stock room. I'm not dude who was working at Sean John and heard some shit. I'm not even one of your artists. I am the security guard. I was there when they were trying to kill you in LA. So what did the brother say? The brother said what was repeated before. The Suge Knight had a hit out on Puff. Remember, the bad boy, the East Coast West Coast beef had a lot to do with Puffy and Suge's fallout over both the baby mama and some other shit that was taking place. Now, Tupac and Biggie, with them going at it, that was...
What the hell?
Red Pill is in the building, hanging out by himself on 125th Street, man.
Some shit. I'm not even one of your artists. I am. Remember, the bad boy, the East Coast West Coast beef had a lot to do with Puffy and Suge's fallout over both the baby mama and some other shit that was taking place. Now, Tupac and Biggie, with them going at it, that was also a part of the beef. But the foundation of the beef, one of the batteries that was really fueling the beef, was Suge Knight. Suge Knight was trying to kill Puff. Okay? So the security guard basically was saying that you have negligence on your hand. You have blood on your hand. I came to you as your employee and told you that there was a credible threat against not only your life, but Biggie's life. As a result of you not taking the threat seriously, you lost one of your own, you lost your artist. You didn't assess the threat, and as a result of that, the collateral damage was a man lost his life, right? So then he goes further by saying that I protected your life from being taken by the same brother who took your father's life. He was the same man at your father's funeral, boo-hooing and crying tears, crocodile tears, but that was the one that put the bullet in him. This happens. I've seen this happen before. This double crossing and whatnot. Live from the land of Snake, the same one who hand you shake, playing your weight. So he said if it wasn't for the security guard, if it wasn't for him...
Who said that? Who did that rap?
That's my rap.
Get the fuck out. You
so...
Yo, hold on.
Yeah, that's Scorpion King.
That's your bars right there, Scorpion King. That shit is hard. Hit me with that one more time. That shit is hard.
Live from the land of snakes, with the same one hand with the same nigga hand you shake, be the one to plan your wake. All right. So with this situation, what the security guard also said, and I somewhat believe him, he was like, if it wasn't for me being at the meeting with the same person who killed your father, you would have got a bullet to your head, because they were trying to take you out as well. For those of us who, but because he was in the car, they didn't make a move on your life. Now we know when it comes to this Harlem history, there was a lot of people who were basically threatening both Puffy's life, and they was extorting him with their hands in his pocket. So Puffy had to get refutable security guards, brothers that were from the street who put in a lot of work. That takes us into our good brother Wolf, rest in peace. I was in Atlanta when Meech killed Wolf. Big Meech and Wolf had a shootout. The rise of BMF, the rise of Big Meech, was due to the fact that he killed Wolf and became a legend in Atlanta based off of that gun battle that took place. Now, fast forward, you saw pictures with Puffy and Meech. Matter of fact, the group, what's the group that Jeezy was in? Jeezy and them was in a rap group. There was Puff's label, that was signed to Puff's label, right? And Jeezy, who was basically one of Meech's artists, was in the group. So now they was getting money together and exchanging paper and breaking bread and things of that nature, but that's the same man that put a bullet in your security guard. And then the accusations in the video was that at his funeral, the same fuckboy story that you hear with French Montana at Chink's funeral. Chink's mom was like, what happened to my son? This bird ass nigga said he didn't listen to me, so he's dead. I told him not to drive around in a Porsche. He was only in a Porsche. Like, everybody got Porsches. I told him not to drive around in a foreign after certain. How the fuck you gonna tell a grown man what to do in his hood? And all you niggas is promoting as the Coke boys is driving around in foreigns, is doing all of this other fuck shit. You know what I mean? So how you gonna tell his mother that he's dead because he didn't listen to you? And you talk about you ain't do nothing for mama. You ain't do nothing for mama. But this supposed to be your ride or die. This supposed to be the homie. So postpartum, after the brother dies, nah, I ain't really know him like that. That was just one of my artists. I was trying to help get him out of the hood. Now you on your Hollywood shit. You all up in Hollywood with the Kardashians. Now you Hollywood. Now you want to talk down to your man who helped get you in Hollywood. So the same story was repeated by the security guard when it came to Puff dealing with Wolf. They said that he owed Wolf 300 racks. He told his mother, I don't know what he talking about. He was on drugs. He was blowing his money. He was irresponsible. Basically talking down about a man when he's not here. Fuck boy shit. The same thing that happened, that Biggie's daughter came out and said, they never cut a check for my family. Nobody's taking care of my family. They keep bringing Biggie up. Jay-Z ain't cutting no check. Puffy ain't cutting no check. Nobody ain't cutting no check for me or my mama. And he said in his rhymes, if they take me from this planet, take care of my daughter, Tiana. They didn't do that. This is the richest man in rap, mind you. This nigga's not struggling. Huh? The same story you also hear about when Sean came out. Sean said, yo, this nigga snitched on me. The security guard said, yo, he snitched on him. And he was getting people to testify against Sean. Of course you know that he was putting money in their pocket. This is the boss. That's the shooter. The shooter don't got longer money than the boss. So the boss was paying niggas to turn against the shooter. And he got 10 years for that. So
are you saying like father, like son? Because his father was getting ready to go to trial against who?
Allegedly. Okay? Allegedly. So people will be like, what this got to do with consciousness? Why are these? You could be talking about the theory of evolution and all of these other things, and you guys could be breaking down molecules. No, we're talking about a man who has control and influence not only over your mind for the last 20 some odd years, but also on your children's minds, vicariously through the artists that he promotes, the artists that are part of his label. His legacy is intricately interwoven into some of the problems that we have in the black community, dealing with the Scorpion, Puff, and the shit that he brought to the table, ushering in that so-called it's all about the Benjamins era, ushering all of that materialism over spirituality, or money over bitches mentality that they were running with. That's one of the things that he helped usher in. So if we're gonna break that spell, if we're gonna basically say, yo, that's some bullshit, you're gonna have to crucify the motherfucker who brought it to life. And what the security guard is saying in so many words is, this dude is not only a rat, this dude is not only dishonorable, this dude is not only responsible for the death of one of the greatest lyricists to ever come through, okay? And he may be responsible for a lot of other things that have not been revealed. I guess we got to watch the whole interview. But what we're saying to the family is, we have to begin to demystify ourselves from the worship of these people, because what they do by putting them on the Forbes list as the number 1, the number 2, the number 3, coincidentally we hear Jay-Z on the radio, the Dr. Dre's of the world, the Puffies of the world, you know what I mean, the Jay-Z's of the world. They make our children and they make brain dead Negroes worship them like they are anything that they say is law. All right, they are your new Al Sharptons, they're your new Jesse Jackson, they're your new thought leaders. Whatever they say goes. So if they say to go left, that's what our people is going. So we have to actually demystify that shit. We got to kind of take that power away from them and return it to people who are actually in their community, helping the people who are thinking, who are intellectuals. Okay, that aspect of of the black community, we have to really begin to return that. The entertainers have failed us. I'm sorry to say it, and I'm not taking no shots at anybody in particular, but the entertainers have failed us, because what is their job? It's to entertain. But even in their entertainment, what have they done? Have they uplifted and empowered our people, or have they entertained our people into the fucking jail cells, into the graves, and into poverty mind state? That is a question we have to ask ourselves. Okay, so I look forward to seeing what this brother has to say about Sean Combs, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, because it's very important for the public to know these things. All right, this is not gossip. This is not chatty patty. This is a man saying that you are intricately, you are liable for the murder of another man. You are liable for another man going to jail for a decade. You are liable for a lot of real underhanded, dirty double dog shit that people should not respect at the end of the day. We're talking about legacy right now. So that man's legacy is in danger based off the accusations that the security guard has brought forth. Keep in mind, all of them niggas on his label got religion now. Loon became a Muslim, a Sunni Muslim. Craig Mack is with he's with the goddamn cow tippers and the snake oil salesman out there in West Bubblefuck somewhere. Little Kim looks like a gargoyle. Okay, Mace became a preacher. Okay, Sean is not even an Israelite. He not even down with ISUPK in them. He became a Rosenberg. He's rolling around in Israel with Harry and them. So G Dep is doing. He's not an Israelite. He's a Hebrew. He's a Orthodox Jew in Israel. And G Dep is doing. G Dep is doing 15 years for a body. The brother went and turned himself in. We could go down the laundry list of people who have been affected by either the negative energy or the karma that is a result of dealing with this man who has a lot of skeletons in his closet. Keep in mind, Puffy rose to prominence after the City College massacre or the stampede, where 9 people lost their lives. After that, that's when he began to take off, when Clive Davis, who is an admitted homosexual, created a sister label or a boutique label from Arista and gave him the Bad Boy label. But Bad Boy, over the decades and whatnot, they've promoted and they've pushed a program or a way of life that has not been very progressive. It has not uplifted our people from their fallen state, and it's not really done good for our people. You know, that Benjamin talk, that cloth talk, that shit is cute and everything, but where's our buildings at? What does he own in Harlem? Not on the back blocks. You gotta own some shit on 2/5. What's Bad Boys? What's Puffy own? What did he bring back out of the billions of dollars that he helped earn Clive Davis and all of those Peckerwoods and the labels? Whatever came back to our hoods? I would say nothing. Nada. Zilch. Oh, my bad. Justin's. Yeah, that was a joke. But you know, we're gonna continue to follow the story. You know what I mean? We're gonna try to find out what's going on. You know, it's real interesting to begin to peel back the layers of the hip-hop industry and see from its inception that it was flawed, from its inception that it was questionable, from its inception it had some of the elements. The niggas is running around talking about Illuminati talk, the homosexuality shit. You know what I'm saying? Because there's always been rumors about Puffy touching his toes and also bringing other people into the room to touch their toes and do all kind of strange things for a piece of change. He was that was the hat that he was wearing before they started throwing it on everybody else. Okay, through Andre Harrell, Chi Chi Man, through Russell Simmons, Chi Chi Man, through Rick Rubin and all of these other questionable characters, through Clive Davis. All right, so we dealing with that kind of energy, okay, that kind of spell or that kind of frequency that they're implanting into our culture. Metrosexual, get a fucking shape up on your eyebrows and all of this crazy shit. That's Puffy. The funny guy dancing and all of that, all of these things, that's Puffy. He got a lesbian rap on his label right now. That's Puffy. What? Yeah, all of these things, the promoting of this wayward lifestyle, that's Puffy and his group and his cohorts. So yeah, we need to start decoding, demystifying, and dethroning all of these people that are detrimental to the growth and development of our babies. Because I refuse where they're gonna have this nigga as a glitterati, because you know that the next step for Puffy and Jay and all of them is into politics. They're gonna try to assume the role of leadership. They're gonna try to assume the role of some Belafonte type shit. We can't have that. We can't let them be the next Jesse Jacksons of our community, of our nation, and of our networks and things that are no. Let them niggas go over there with the Black Lives Matter shit and everybody else that they support. We not with none of that. We have to keep a level of purity. We have to keep a level of high, you know, we have to keep the bar risen at a certain level so these people just can't come in and pillage us. You know what I mean? So that's what's being said. I'm just reporting. Where's my press pass? I'm just a reporter, family. I hope I didn't hurt anybody's feelings. You know what I'm saying? By talking about P. Diddy and whatnot. But hey, that's...
And they don't want you to know this. But that's why you've never seen Jimmy.
This is Jaguar Wright right here, y'all. This is the Jaguar Wright clips. Well, before we get to that, 120 people came out yesterday. They got a lawyer representing 120 new people. So with that, with October, we're gonna ride this past election in November with this new 120. That's gonna take up the timeline into November with the new 120. Let's say that tomorrow they put out the list of names that are on a new 120, like, because the lawyer, whoever this guy representing this new 120, he said he got names, he got all kind of shit, he has a lot of more gossip. So when they drop the names and then when they drop the footage, because the tapes are gonna leak, that will keep people completely caught up and captured into this distraction. Now, what if a Kamala tape leaks? What if they leak a tape and it's good old, it's Kamala working that neck? You know what I mean? What if that happens? Because she's close to him. I mean, he's been with Trump as well. You feel me? He been rubbing shoulders with Trump. But rumor has it that there's a Kamala tape moving around. I think Aaron Hall and Kamala. I don't know. I'm just saying, don't quote me. But, let's check out Jaguar Wright.
And they don't want you to know this. But that's why you've never seen Jimi Hendrix and Missy Elliott in the same room. Busta Rhymes gave birth to Sierra's baby. And yes, I said that right. I just want to know where Oprah was on 9/11. And see, I saw Diddy do all the crimes, but I'm not an accomplice because I didn't help. And I also bet you never saw the pictures of Beyonce eating those babies like popcorn at the zoo. They had no reason being together. She was a pig and he was a frog. What the fuck was that about? Everybody wants to call her a pit bull, but she's not. Jada Pinkett Smith is a dachshund. But you're gonna sit there right now and tell me that the Wayans brothers did not write the Harry Potter films.
Funny. All right. Here my brother Wesley Muhammad with some cloth. Let's go to Wesley.
So the black woman in hip hop has to be a Jezebel. I don't know. Megan Pete, our beautiful sister from Houston, Texas. The character Megan Thee Stallion is a deliberate construction of a blackness that white appetites require.
This is the one that started it all for these generations. That's mama right there. That's the one that started it all. You know, yeah. Don't give me Nikki until you talk about Kim. And when you talk about P. Diddy and what he represents, you can't leave Little Kim out of that. They're part of the same nightmare, okay? They're part of the same nightmare. Her day of reckoning is gonna come one day. She has a lot of karma because she unwillingly got put in a position where they used her as an ill tool to destroy a lot of black women. A lot of black women, yo. Okay? She looks horrible. Okay? She looks horrible. And they got her parading around and nobody wants to tell her the truth about what the hell is going on with her. You feel me? The shit is a horror story. What happened to her and how she looks and where she's wound up. It's one of the greatest horror stories in hip hop. Facts. Okay? The fact that nobody addressed that and didn't want to correct it is why we have this shit right here. This is all Little Kim. Okay? Because Nikki is a clone of Kim and all of these other chicks are a clone of her. This is high dysfunction. And I wonder what P. Diddy had to do with that on more of the negative side. I know he wasn't there as a consoling friend. I know that he didn't protect her after Biggie died. I know that when Biggie was alive, she wasn't protected because he was whooping her ass. You feel me? But she was further exploited when Big was assassinated, she was out there lonely and whatnot, and P. Diddy or Puffy made her kiss the ring. And look at what we looking at. Look at what she's turned into. You know what I'm saying? And the Missy Elliott's, the Queen Latifahs, none of them really love her because nobody is publicly saying anything to be like, yo, what the fuck? So we're left with this quagmire, and then we have to lie and be like, yeah, these girls are fire and whatnot. So we don't sound like we misogynistic or we not accused of hating. We got to go along with the bullshit, with the propaganda, and be like, nah, all of them is fire. They all fire. JT, Mulatto, like all of them got bars. Glow, Rilla, like they all lit. We got to pretend that we know all of their names. We got to pretend that they're all fucking Left Eyes. They're all Lauryn Hills and whatnot. That's what we got to pretend. We got to pretend that we're going along with all of this shit that they're throwing at us and whatnot, even those of us who are fathers with daughters. You know? When we when we ask for substance, we lame, we corny, we're taking the fun away. You know, we're squares. You know, the minute we start saying, yo, we want a little bit of substance, like no disrespect and whatnot, but could we have some, oh, y'all don't ask for that with nobody? No, we do. We demand of that from everyone. I want to hear the stories, you know? I want to hear stories, not just of you setting a man up to rob him and whatnot. I want to hear I want to hear stories. I want to hear progressions. You feel me? I want more. I want more. I don't want lustful rap. I'm good on that. I don't need lust rap from every single female to become hypersexualized and to make them a sexual object of sexual desire so I could lust over them. I'm good on that. I'm good with a cute face and whatnot, and she just got bars. Like, what's wrong with that? Okay, what is wrong with that? Wesley Muhammad has a book out that I think that we should have in our book club. We should read it together. We should break it down together. We should have a collective reading, quote unquote, book club where we read these books and we really, really go do deep dives on them. Okay, so he broke down the architecture of the Illuminati influence on hip hop. Okay, and tier one, he put tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. So he's showing you the power structure. I would even say that this structure has shifted a little bit. There may be an update. There may have to be an update to the structure. So, but look at this chart right here and ask yourself, with all of the RICOs that have been handed out, with all of the lawsuits that have been, published and whatnot, why don't we ever hear or see any of these higher up names being mentioned? Now, when Little Rod filled out the lawsuit against Diddy, he threw Clive Davis, Lucian Grange, and a few other bigwigs in. I think Liar was even in the lawsuit. He was in the paperwork. They've removed all of these people from the paperwork in the more updated lawsuit and whatnot. But why these names don't get mentioned? Like, why is nobody blowing them up? Where's their lawsuits at? Where's their RICOs at and whatnot? Because you can't tell me that these people are on the up and up. You feel me? You can't tell me that there's no racketeering taking place. You can't tell me that there's no extortion taking place. You can't tell me that they're not running none of these fucking labels like criminal enterprises. You cannot tell me that. You can't tell me that they don't have mafia running in and out of these quote unquote labels. You can't tell me that they don't have organized crime. You can't tell me that the drugs are not being distributed and whatnot. Sex trafficking and human trafficking is not taking place. Everybody damn near has dirty hands in this music industry, especially the higher up you go. Don't just think that it's about lower level drug dealers, crack dealers, gangbangers and whatnot, and everybody above them are some fucking angels and whatnot. You know, trash is taking out trash. A alike, B alike, C alike. These people are in bed together because they have similar natures. Okay? They have similar natures. Let's be clear. So let's read this real quick. Frederick Dannon, in his best-selling book, Hitmen, Power Brokers, and Fast Money Inside the Music Business, observed that the music business was culturally Jewish, and that during the 70s and 80s especially, an outsized number of record label bosses were Jews from Brooklyn. One such Brooklyn Jew was Walter Yetnikoff, president of CBS Records and the most powerful man in the music industry for much of the 80s. While Yetnikoff wore his Jewishness like a gabardine, he was also a philandering egomaniacal monster who had a predilection for Gentile women. Okay? He amassed them in a stable referred to as his Shiska farm. Right? That would be a white zaddy today. That would be a Epstein of today. That would be a Hugh Hefner of today. That would be a Diddy of today, right? He had a stable of women who he was feeding, and he would procure for sexual favors, and we had a harem. Okay. Yetnikoff's predecessor as president of CBS Records was his mentor, an equally egomaniacal fellow Brooklyn Jew, Clive Davis. That was his predecessor. In 1973, Rolling Stone would call Davis the emperor of the music industry. Both Yetnikoff and Davis were fully immersed in the hedonism that characterized the music industry then and now, but they had different proclivities. Made the undisputed head of CBS Records in 1967, the emperor of the record industry, Clive Davis, was abruptly and spectacularly fired in 1973. The Newark U.S. Attorney's Office Strike Force Against Organized Crime had launched an investigation, and Davis and other Columbia executives faced a grand jury probe into interstate heroin trafficking, and possible payola by drugs, which they call drugola, at the record company. All right. One of those indicted on conspiracy and smuggling charges was Pascal Falcone, who was associated with the Genovese crime family of New York and at the same time a manager of several Columbia artists, including Sly Stone, as well as the country acts Lynn Anderson and Tommy Cash. But the connection with Clive Davis was closer than this. Falcone was a close associate of David Winshaw, vice president of artist relations at Columbia, and Davis's closest aide, his right-hand man. Together, Falcone and Winshaw reportedly set up sham companies around New Jersey through which they funneled CBS record money. The New York Times coined the term drugola to describe the peculiar racialized practice that Davis's CBS Records was allegedly engaged in. Winshaw became a cooperating witness and reportedly told a grand jury about a $250K hidden budget that Columbia used to bribe specifically black radio stations into pushing records by Columbia's recently assembled group of black artists, which is called payola, while the black artists themselves were apparently paid in drugs. Freaks of the industry. This procuring of young girls and boys for sex at company parties is of great importance. Clive Davis has confirmed that he is bisexual and was having sex with men in the 1970s. So the emperor of the music industry in the 70s was a bisexual Brooklyn Jew who allegedly authorized industry events that featured sex parties for which drugs, young girls, and young boys were procured. Since the airing of Surviving R. Kelly and Surviving R. Kelly Part 2, Much talk is centered on R. Kelly's aides and their complicity in holding them accountable. This is appropriate talk, but the focus should not be on the low-level enablers who are small fish. Rather, the real enablers who are the big shark higher ups at Jive Record and RCA/Sony. Okay. The American Psycho author Bret Easton Ellis said he knew about Bryan Singer's underage sex parties where fake IDs were important because he dated two participants of those parties. Director Roland Emmerich co-hosted with Singer parties over Pride weekend at Emmerich's LA home, such as the one pictured above from June 15, 2009. Reportedly, the Hollywood elite flocked to his parties, and these parties are said to be an entire production involving modeling agencies, club promoters, and studio executives. The party drug Molly is often fueled the gay bacchanals. Singer's pool parties have been a topic of discussion in gay entertainment circles for years. Some parties co-hosted with fellow Out director Roland Emmerich have featured more than 1,000 celebrants. Okay, why don't they talk about that party? Okay, when they also talk about Puffy's party, there's a lot of parties. There's Leonardo's, DiCaprio's parties. You know, there's a lot of people's parties. Glamorous women in public. Okay. The very nature of the hip hop beast has homophobia embedded in it, says Fred, the editor of MediaTakeout.com, a black focused celebrity website, which is why hip hop's gay culture is so shrouded in silence, with intricate measures taken to keep it that way. To get admitted into the clique, as Dean describes it, a brother is carefully vetted, then interviewed by a person who will become his sponsor, meaning he'll take the fall if that person screws up or goes to the press. There's also a machine designed to back that up. Managers brief artists on image control, give them extensive media training on how to walk, talk, and act the gangster lifestyle, and always avoid the inevitable questions. Publicists go to great lengths to mastermind their artists' appearances and who those appearances are with in gossip mags. Producers tap their friends in the industry to find single female celebrities they can persuade to be on hand for red carpet events. We have to make sure nobody will run and report it to the media, gossip magazines, or to their friends. Dean writes, we have to make sure you have an alliance with us and that you will go down for us. That allegiance extends all the way to the paparazzi, who in many cases won't break the code in an effort to ensure future access. If they do break it, many magazine editors won't buy the photos anyhow for fear of lawsuits or professional backlash. In 1998, when Hot 97 shock jock Wendy Williams hinted that a major New York rapper was gay, she was booted from the station, and that rapper was P. Diddy, now we know. Dean says that he was first introduced to this underground culture by a producer while at a Hollywood party. This was during the time he worked on Spike Lee's film Crooklyn. Since then, he learned that LA's taco and card parties was where down low industry black men like him gather. These allegations of Terrence Dean, who was found dead in his home from an undisclosed illness in 2021, cannot be dismissed. DJ Academics was informed of male music executives in Hollywood were effing the male rappers. Dean's allegations have since been corroborated by several prominent rappers. Okay.
Bro, I finally understand what Watch the Party Die was truly about and how it ties into the Super Bowl, the release of the song, and now Diddy being indicted. Y'all listen, this might blow your mind. It's Watch the Party Die. Now what or who does the party represent? So when Biggie Smalls, a Gemini, came out with the help of Puff, what was his first message? Party and BS. Big put out the message, but Puff was the architect of the Party and BS era. So much so that now Puff's name is synonymous with party. More specifically, a Diddy party, which we culturally recognize as a dark, sexual, ritualistic type of industry party that initiate those going that path in hip-hop. We have collectively spoken and said, no Diddy. Now the Diddy indictments are symbolic to the death of this party. Now when Kendrick Lamar and his fellow Gemini said, no more parties in LA, it's a double entendre for where the funeral will be held. Ironically, in New Orleans, the only place where the funeral is a party. What better place to deliver a message of the cultural shift than on the grandest stage, the Super Bowl, and in New Orleans, the spiritual capital of the U.S.? This isn't just Kendrick Lamar being prophetic, it's a part of the natural spiritual evolution of hip-hop. And Kendrick, a Gemini, being the current voice of what's being channeled. We can only go so far in one direction before the pendulum swings. So we're watching the current party of hip-hop die, and it's returning to its true essence.
All right, yes. This is the segment called Watch the Party Die. All right. So now you have artists that are echoing the sentiments from some of us in the conscious community who've been calling on a cultural reset for years now. So once again, what is 2024 representing? This is the year that everybody is starting to get on board. This is the year that a lot of people are basically drawing the line and whatnot. This is the year where people have finally decided that there's a side and they pick that side and now they're standing on it. Okay. A cultural reset is needed. Everything is in disarray. It used to be an honor to get posted and write up in a blog. Now you just pay for it. Even if it's asked, they'll share it. There's nothing genuine about any of it. Our hip hop media barely posts music. It's all gossip and messy shit. The amount of negativity being consumed is disgusting. We're cultivating really nasty spaces for artists and fans to exist. That's coming from La Russell, all right, who is, you know, considered to be the next Nipsey and whatnot. Very influential artist. All right. So check this out with the babies. Look at the babies.
Outside. Pecan Lane, nigga. I'm at Pecan Lane for y'all nigga. For y'all me, and I want to get done like Julio, nigga. I want to get done like Julio, nigga. Don Julio, nigga. I want to get done like him. Fuck me. Come on. Come on. Come on. I'm at this part right here.
So I don't remember, like, I know that we was on our shit when we was young, but I don't remember us being lit in the playground, like talking about pull up in the playground. I want to go out like Fulio, right? This shit is crazy. Check this out though. Check this out.
Y'all gotta forgive me how I sound. I'm a little stuffy right now, but I just want to share a real experience with y'all, you know? So I'm leaving Chicago. I'm going city to city throughout the Midwest and other spots, just talking to the young to the young niggas that's in trouble and shit like that, fighting cases, you know what I'm saying? Being abused that's at homes, kids that got incarcerated parents, all these, this is what I'm on. I'm just going to kick with them. Ain't nobody paying me to do this. Ain't nobody making me do this. I'm just doing this because I wish somebody would do it for me, right? So I just left Cook County Juvenile Detention Center. You know what I'm saying? Chicago, Cook County, JDC. And they telling me, okay, we're going to have you talk to the ATs. These is people who too young to go to the county, but they being charged as an adult. And on their 18th birthday, is when they get transferred to the county. Feel me? So everybody who complaining on their birthday, these niggas' birthday is when they get transferred to the county to fight a case. So as I'm walking through the hallway, I'm just preparing myself. I already bet what I'm about to say to him. You know, I don't rehearse this shit. I like for it to be natural. You feel me? I like to be personal. So I'm just walking through the hallway and I'm looking around. I'm seeing everything. It's low key. It's low key a school. They got a little game room where they got the PS5s and the air hockey. They got all this. They eat real food. They go to class. There's a little barber school in there. So I'm just walking through seeing all this. And then when I get there in the room, my mindset was like, I'm about to talk to some niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to kick it with some niggas. But when I walk in the room, bro, these is babies, bro. Feel me? And I let them know, like, a lot of people that come talk to y'all, they might not be qualified to talk to y'all because they haven't been through what y'all been through. You know, but the people, they come talk to y'all because the people who is qualified to talk to y'all don't do it. The niggas who been through y'all shoes, been in y'all positions, don't talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna make sure I ain't one of them people who qualified to talk to the streets and don't talk to them in this type of manner. So these is babies, they quiet, they shy and everything. And I had to ask them, like, bro, y'all niggas used to this or something? Like, y'all see this every day? You know? Like, I ain't no telling when I might be back or somebody like me might be back, especially if y'all want to get out and be rappers. Like, this a golden opportunity. Kick it with me. I'm here for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody pay me to come up here, gang. Ain't nobody make me do this. I'm doing this because I'm here for y'all, so don't waste this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? After I said that, they start opening up slowly but surely. They start rapping, everything. We in there kicking it, laughing. I brought them on some heroes up there. You feel me? We eating like family. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, damn, these little niggas cool as hell. Like, I hope when they get out, you know what I'm saying, they take a different route. Don't end up back in this motherfucker, because they ain't tearing this place down. They ain't tearing the jails down when niggas leave. Like, these still gonna be up for when you do some more bullshit. And so I'm just taking a liking to these young niggas and shit like that. And I end up asking them, like, so what y'all locked up for? It's 20, 30 of them. What y'all locked up for? Like, y'all niggas kids, what y'all in here for? All them little niggas was in that bitch for bodies, bro. All of them. Bodies, all of them. Not one shoplifting, not one fraud, not one fight at school, not one got caught with a gun. All of them. Bodies, babies. 18th birthday going to the county, charged as an adult. Came in there and they was 13, 14, 15, been in there for 2 years. Bodies, all of them. And what fucked me up, I remember when I was in the county fighting my case, and I'm around a bunch of cool ass niggas. I'm around a bunch of niggas who I'm taking liking to. Like, when I get out, I'll be able to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? And the craziest part that fucked my head up, some of them niggas gonna get found guilty, bro. How they mamas feel, man. How they families feel. They got little brothers and little sisters. These niggas babies, bro. Some of them gonna get found guilty. It's shit like making it to the NBA, beating the case. Everybody don't make it to the NBA, bro. So if y'all some praying people, put them young niggas in your prayers, man. That's in there fighting for their life, bro. As kids. You know what I'm saying? Shit was so humbling. Shit was so real. Shit touched my heart, man.
This is some crazy shit. These children are doing things at this age that we did not do at our age. They are doing murder. They're committing crimes that was exclusive to adults. Okay. They are truly on some super predator shit, this new generation. Okay. They have been exposed to too much. They seen too much. They've been programmed differently. All that watching the fucking
y'all gotta forgive me how I sound. I'm a little stuffy right now.
Murder series with children. watching Dahmer and shit with your child, watching The Conjuring with your child, and Chucky and all of that, that's a dub. That's a dub. Like, these children are being exposed to shit that's turning them into serial killers. Yeah, murderers as entertainment. Like, it's turning into copycat murderers and whatnot. They're trying to do what Dahmer and them. They want to be famous for being murderers. This is crazy. I call it Netflix and kill, because Netflix teaches people how to kill. It normalized killing. The shows on Netflix are normalizing killing, heinous crimes, not just regular shit. It's normalizing, it's making it entertainment. We weren't exposed to nonstop documentaries on serial killing when HBO and WHT and things like that was out. That wasn't the normal programming of what they were showing us on cable. But these new channels, you know, you got NCIS or whatever that show is called. Even shit like Law and Order is kind of tipping the scale and whatnot. But definitely Netflix and kill. When it came to Netflix and kill, they upped it a notch. Narcos, you know, the Dahmer shit, Edward Casey documentary, like all of these things are being romanticized, and these children are picking up the drill rap. We're about to get into that in a minute. They were programmed from 0 to 12 to be murderers. Their favorite musicians were murderers. Their favorite music acts were murderers. They were on Twitter learning about murder, being desensitized to murder. Okay. So now that's really nothing to them. Okay. So let's get into nihilism. All right. And what nihilism is and how nihilism has a direct effect on this culture. And it is blending into all cultures because we're not separated by culture anymore through entertainment. Like, when you look on YouTube, the video is not only playing for Generation X and it won't play for Generation Z. The video that you're watching on World Star is not only going to play for baby boomers and not you. No, everybody is consuming the culture. Everybody is consuming together in one pool, one classroom filled with elders, olders, youth, tweens, whatever you call it. Everybody's together. So they're all being programmed. They're all falling under this psychosis collectively. Nihilism is the rejection of all religious and moral principles and the belief that life is meaningless, the belief that nothing in the world has a real existence, right? And it's a term commonly associated